Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everybody. You probably have heard this before where the words self-love come up. And it's been said that you got to love yourself before you can love somebody else or show the right kind of love. That also translates into what you want showing up for your life, i.e., manifestation or whatever you want to call it. Those things that are called to you. But the foundation begins with how you feel about yourself. And if you're not feeling great about yourself, you're not going to attract all the things that you want in your life. We're going to talk about that today with a law of assumption coach. This is what she coaches on. Getting the things in life that you want, you feel you deserve, you feel that you desire. She's back with us. She's our professional of the year. Susan Carabello is here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And it took me time to figure this whole self-love thing out.
Hmm.
But when you do, it's almost like sometimes you're high, like you're walking on a high.
Yes.
The weird kind of, you just feel good about yourself and what you do
Yeah.
for other people when you're comfortable in your skin, I guess.
Yes. And that's exactly it. It's an abundant feeling when you actually have tapped into that self-love where you're not looking for that validation outside. You're not looking for something external. You know that you can give yourself everything. And from a manifestation perspective, when you get to that point in your life, you can actually attract everything to you. It's a magical feeling is the only way to describe it. I think call it what it is. It's like walking on cloud nine. You're just
Yeah.
happy for no reason.
Um, I get it. But unless you get it, you're not going to see the other side.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna you're gonna wallow in your own personal negativity. I
Yes.
get it, did it. I totally understand that. And I'm not being negative in saying that. But once you flip it around and feel like that vibe, um, and it's only happened for me, honestly, in the last maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. For myself, from the same perspective, that I have not felt that self-love where I feel confident in who I am and everything I do, and it's like a very new feeling for me. So I completely understand. You said that you haven't felt that feeling before, like within the last 2 years is really when you started to feel it. I can totally relate. It's it's an odd feeling, like when you finally tap into that knowing of who you are and what you're meant to experience in this lifetime, and just waking up with this feeling like God, like life is good, and you're really in a space where you can recognize that heaven's really a place on earth. And I know that's a Belinda Carlisle song. Um, but it's waking up with that feeling and that knowing every day that like God, life is good. It's magical, and I am creating that life for myself because I see myself through the lens of what God sees.
I can't believe you said that because I'm going to share something with you.
Sure.
Yes, yesterday was my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. Um, Last minute plans. I didn't, I was kind of like not deciding what I wanted to do. I did some stuff over the weekend, but I was like, it's on Labor Day.
Hmm.
And basically the day before, I just shot out a text. Hey, we're going to be hanging out at this outdoor beach club venue. You're free, come on down. And then people say, yeah, I'll come down. Yeah, I'll come down. I'll come down. So like, I had like, I don't know, a dozen people, 15, whatever, mixed in with the crowd and it felt good,
Hmm.
right? Ran into some people I haven't seen in a while, had a beer with them. And there's a point I'm getting to here.
Yeah.
So kind of friendly with the band. They're really good. They do a lot of covers.
Yeah.
Great, great vibe. Just, there's a lot of bands out there. They got a vibe. So they shout me out and they say happy birthday. And they start singing Oasis Wonderwall.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm listening to it and it's like, I like that song. And it's vibing with me. So I'm like, hell with it. I jump up on stage and I start singing with them. Now I can't sing, but I pulled it off.
Hmm.
I pulled it off. But here's the thing. I looked at the lyrics, and I know the lyrics, but I really looked at them,
Mhm.
and I looked at it in a different lens, like you just said.
Yeah.
And I'm not religious. I think there's a God. My view, it
Yeah.
kind of changes. I believe there's a universe.
Yeah, though there's something greater than ourselves. Like some of us define it as God, some of us define it as the universe, some define
Sure.
it as source. Whatever it is, there's something greater that is helping us become the people that we're meant to be.
But when I looked at the lyrics closer and thought about it, I don't have anybody to apply it to. Like, you're going to be the one to save me.
Yeah,
And after all, you're my wonder wall. So the guy that wrote that song from Oasis, he
yeah,
describes a wonder wall as an imaginary friend that is there for you, that's going to save
yeah,
you, that's going to be there for you.
yeah,
And then I looked at it as like, I don't have anybody that, that I would sing that to.
right.
But then I thought of it, maybe it's God.
Yeah, or maybe it's, that song is for yourself. Like maybe you
Maybe.
are, you know, it all depends on your perspective. Like maybe God is saving us, source, but it's really how can we become our own savior, right? How can we
Sure.
become our own source of that joy and abundance and that love for life? Like we because regardless of what goes on around us, regardless of the people that come in and out, we need to be able to come back to us and know that, yeah, like if this thing didn't work out, I'm still good.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what self-love provides. It's knowing that regardless of what goes on around, like I'm still good. I'm still going to get up and live my life. I'm still going to be happy. I'm still going to have friends and family and places to go and things to see. It's coming back to that, source within us that we can connect with on a daily basis, connecting via meditation or journaling, taking a walk outside, appreciation for life, appreciation for the things around you, whether it's your friends, your family, your pets, whatever it is, but knowing that that source is always within here, and nobody can take that away from you.
The words that ring true with what you just said
Mhm.
is, and after all,
Yeah.
you're my wonder wall. So after all, meaning after you've been through, you've tried this, you've had
Yeah.
those friends, these other, you look for validation in somebody else, that falls apart. What does it come down to?
It,
You.
it comes down to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And life is full of lessons and blessings. And the lesson can be the blessing as well, right? So if things didn't work out, what lesson did you take from it? If something did work out, it's a blessing, right? Like because you achieved the goal or whatever you were looking for. But sometimes the lesson is actually the blessing, right? It's showing you what your patterns are and how to change those patterns so that you can truly step into that space of self-love. How can you love yourself more? How can you set healthy boundaries? How can you say no and be firm but loving, right?
Hmm.
It's never about the other person. It's always about you. Like you have to love yourself enough to have those boundaries. You have to love yourself enough to stand firm when it feels uncomfortable. And the uncomfortable is where the growth actually happens, right? When you do step into that space of vulnerability, I guess is the best word, where you feel uncomfortable. We have to recognize that that's the caveat to change. Like feeling that uncomfortable, as awful as it is really what's going to bring you to the next level and to bring you to who you're meant to be.
So now that, we established that you have to have that self-love.
Mhm.
And yes, side note, there sometimes we feel guilty, but I can't get love myself. I'm egotistical. I'm full of myself. Look at that one. They really love themselves. You
Yeah,
know, we see those images of TV of the guy like, look at me, man. Hey,
yeah,
it's not that. It's being comfortable and just knowing that you've got your back as well.
exactly.
You figured that all out. Let's say you've gotten to that point.
Yeah,
How does that support attracting the things that you want in your life to you?
sure. So I actually just wrote an email to somebody and explained it as best as I could. Everything's just a mirror reflection of who you are, right? It's as within, so without, I believe is the statement in the spiritual community. As within, so without. So if you are looking to attract money, like into your life, right? You want to attract $1 million, $500,000, $100. That attraction point is really how you see and value your worth as a person, how you can stand up for yourself, how you can say no. It's those healthy boundaries. It's that worth. Like once you have that worth within yourself, the money naturally comes in. A relationship, for example, if you're looking to call in a relationship, that is just a mirror reflection of the love that you have for yourself, right? How do you take care of yourself? How do you show up for yourself? Are you doing stuff that you love to do? Are you making yourself happy? Right? That's just the mirror there. And same thing with the job. Like the job is just a reflection, or business is just a reflection of how you see you. Your business is representative of you. If you're showing up for yourself, then your clients are going to come and want to be a part of your experience. But if you are not showing up for yourself, you're a little nervous, you're outside your comfort zone, you can see the pattern there, right? Because that is just a reflection of who you are. So if you're looking to call in abundance with clients and you're not 100% sure of what your business is and where it's going, it may be a reflection in your bottom line.
Hmm, interesting. And I would imagine it could be the same thing too in wanting to call the relationship that you're looking for. Because
Mhm.
if you're in a relationship and it doesn't really support you, then you're kind of wonky. You know, you may have, self-love, all that, it's all good, it's all
Yeah,
going on, but you have this over here and you're not really super happy, but you're hanging on to it anyway, just because it's there, and maybe you don't want to be alone, whatever it is.
right.
Um, but that's probably preventing something good coming.
If it could be what we call an energetic block, right? If it's not aligned with who you are and it's not making you happy, you have to recognize when it comes to relationships, it's not your partner's job to make you happy. It's your job to make you happy, and the partner is just a complement to that,
Sure.
right? So if you're not happy within you, you can't expect your partner to fill that cup up for you. You need to be happy with you, and they can be a complement to that, right? They can um, be a ride or die, or that partner that you're looking for, but it really needs to be you that needs to be happy with you. And then everybody else will be a mirror reflection of that. If you love what you do, if you love who you are, if you love life, if you're happy with the things that you do, it's just going to be a mirror reflection in the relationships that you have, and not just with a specific person, but with everybody, with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues. If you are unhappy in any way, you're going to attract people that are naturally unhappy too, right? It's, that's the attraction point. Like that's the energy that you're calling into your experience based on who you are. Because you never manifest what you want, you manifest what you are, period. It's your energy.
That's probably the key point of anything we've ever said.
Yeah.
Say it again. You
You
manifest.
never manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. And I think we spoke last time that your beliefs about you, your beliefs about you in relationships, your beliefs about you in relation to money, in relation to jobs and success is all just a direct reflection of who you are. And until you start looking at the stories about who you are, can you change it? If you're not aware of the unknown will just keep repeating itself until it comes to a point where you're ready to sit down and address it and be like, you know what, this doesn't serve me anymore, and I'm going to fix it. They call it a spiritual awakening.
I've heard that term before, and I've heard a lot of different descriptions of it.
Sure.
Where, I mean, some people I've talked to even have done podcasts with them that have said that they went through over a year of just turmoil, negativity, craziness, locked in their room with the lights off. It was so heavy.
Mhm.
They described it as a spiritual awakening.
Yes.
But when it was over, ooh, beautiful. Everything
Well,
changed. Life changed.
and that's it, because you, if you're not aware of the unknown will keep repeating itself, and that's the only way to describe it. So when you come into a a point, and everybody's awakening is different. I think people joke around and say it's a midlife crisis, but it's really like you're awakening to who you truly are. You're awakening to who you were truly meant to be in this lifetime. And you can't truly be who you are or meant to be if you're holding yourself back in any way, if you're keeping yourself safe from, because you have a story there, you can't, you have to let that go, right? You have to drop into that self love and really get rid of the beliefs and the stories that are holding you back from that potential, from that relationship, from the success, the abundance, the life of your dreams, right? Imagine waking up and being like, oh, I can't imagine like going to this job. I hate it so much. It's like, well, okay, the job is just, a reflection. It's triggering you. So what's going on within you that you don't like it, right? And you have to sit there and start to slowly dissect what story you're holding against the job or whatever it is you're looking to call, because you and only you have the power to change it. Oftentimes we try to look outside of ourselves for someone to be our savior, to be our what's the word I'm looking for? To help us become the next level of who we're meant to be. When in actuality, the one person that can do that for us is the person standing in front of the mirror every morning, yourself.
What about if, like we talked before, if you center on relationship, right?
Mhm.
Um, you're not happy in a relationship.
Yes.
And you said, and it's happened so many times where you're looking for something validation out of the relationship,
Mhm.
right? What
Yes.
if you've gotten to the point where you've figured the self-love thing out? It's all good, but the relationship, it's not that you're looking for anything in it. It just it it's maybe it's a drain. Maybe it's just not what you want. You're not
Yeah.
looking for something in it. It's just, some people hang on to things because they're afraid to let go.
Right.
But
And there's that. Yeah. It's again, I think we spoke about this last time. It's trusting that inner knowing, right? It's trusting that inner knowing. Like you have to go all in and trust what's going on in here, because this is literally what's in your heart and soul is your guiding compass. So like if you can trust in that, then you can make a decision that is good for both you and your partner, right?
sure.
But it's literally having faith in A, yourself, and B, what you know, without sight unseen, that what's going on in here is what's true, right? And it's just dropping into that faith that whatever happens, it's going to work out the way it needs to. It's going to work out for the greatest good of everyone
Mhm.
involved. So, but you have to have that faith.
Same thing with a job. Many of us, and we're
Mhm.
not saying quit your job, right now. The next one's going, it's showing up, but we hold on to it
Yes.
because of fear, number one. Number two, if you show up every day, oh, I hate this job. Here I am. You're going to have a horrible day.
Yeah.
You asked for it.
Well, because that's you're going in with that energy, and you have a choice, right? We get to decide what our energy is going to be every single day. But if we're running the program or the pattern, and you're so used to the pattern and become so familiar with the pattern, you can't recognize that there is another way. And that's where that self-love comes in, but that's where you have to drop into who you are, right? It's listening to your body. Your body will give you cues like in ways that I can't even explain. Like, maybe you've got heart palpitations, because you're getting anxious when you go into work. Maybe your stomach is bothering you. Maybe you're angry or frustrated, right? These are all cues from your body saying that this is not in alignment with who I am and where I'm meant to be in life. So, but oftentimes we just, equate it to like something else. It's like, I didn't sleep. I, you know, didn't
Yeah.
get enough time to get to the gym. I didn't do this. Like, and we make a plethora of reasons instead of looking back at the one thing, which is us, and say, hey, what's going on? Right? We can blame it on, I was late for work. I didn't get up in time. We can blame it on all the external things, but we never look back at the one thing that we need to look at, which is what's going on in here.
Yeah.
Does it feel good in here? Because if it doesn't feel good in here, then it's going to be directly reflected in the things going on around you.
It's, I believe we also look at these medical issues that we have, chronic
Mhm.
issues,
Yes.
and oh, that's arthritis kicking up again, or whatever it might be.
Mhm.
But many times it's because of this, or this isn't in alignment,
Yes.
and you're out of sync, out of sorts. Once
Mhm.
once you're connected to yourself and you've kind of gotten yourself in a good
Yeah.
space, all that stuff goes away.
Mhm. And I think there's studies actually on it. I don't know the exact study, so I don't want to speak from a medical perspective, but
Right.
there's definitely, something to be said for heart and head coherence. If your mind is connected to your heart and you're more in alignment with who you are,
Yep.
um, there is something to be said about physical manifestations of, anger and frustration in the body, right? Like if you're angry for so long, it's going to physically manifest as something else or somewhere else in the body. But if we can go back and look at, the stories that we're telling ourselves and really sit with those uncomfortable situations and let go of the energy that's in the body and get into coherence with between your heart and your head, you can manage the things going on in your life. And again, I'm not a medical
Yes,
professional, so I don't want to state that,
I got you.
unknowingly, but there's something to be said about, if I think Joe Dispenza said it, if your mind can create fear, your mind can also create love.
Hmm.
So if your mind can create pain, it can also heal. The mind can heal.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
if we
I've
can,
experienced it. Trust me.
yeah,
I get, and I've done tons of podcasts on just this topic from medical
yes,
professionals there that they confirm it, that what's
yeah,
going on up here is usually causing what's going on in your body.
exactly,
Or maybe you had, a genetic situation,
yes,
but this is making it worse because you're miserable. You're not enjoying life. You don't
right,
have self-love,
yeah.
all of that.
And it's we feed on the stories, right? Whether good or bad. So
Right.
it's recognizing that we have the power to control our mindset, right? We have the power to decide in each and every moment if we're going to be happy or if we're going to be sad. And the energies are very different. One is very draining on the body. One causes stress on the body. One causes misalignment within the body, whereas happiness and joy and love for yourself and the world around you actually creates healing. It creates healing in the body. And we need to be mindful of that.
Mm. There's a song that sticks in my head, came out of nowhere, and I don't know why I connect so much with it.
Yeah.
If I can read the lyrics real quick, because it
Sure.
kind of says what we're talking about.
Okay.
The song is completely random. Just forget about that. Okay.
Hmm.
Neil Young recorded this song back in the day, and it's on his latest album, which came out like 6 months ago.
Hmm.
Um, it's just him playing an organ and a harmonica. It's
Hmm.
such a, not everybody likes his voice and everything, but when I look at the lyrics in terms of what we're talking about, and I'm going to tell you that this song showed up out of nowhere and I couldn't shut the damn thing off.
Yeah.
It was almost as if like a magnet. When you walk in a room, you hold your head up high. You talk to people eye to eye. There's nothing to hide. You're feeling so complete inside. Your heart feels so complete inside because you got love.
Yeah. And that's it right there. Like you feel complete when you give that love to yourself.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I
You
listen to
have to
that
give that
song
love to yourself.
and I try to twist it like, somebody loves you. And I kept trying to push it, like I'm trying to like fit that into the feeling of the song. Because,
Yeah.
when somebody loves you, you feel complete inside. Well, no.
Yeah, well, and that's the beauty of it. Like, and this is why, again, I think I say it every time when we're talking. It's like why I'm so passionate about this is that it comes down to that if you can give yourself that love that you're seeking from someone else,
Yep.
you win at life.
Yeah.
Period. Because you get to experience that love every single day, and you're not looking for it from somebody else. You tapped into you, and you have the power to create that love in every moment. And then the beauty of it is that everything that you do from that point on, whether you're going to the gym, or you're going to a yoga class, or you're going to work, or just going to the gas station, getting a coffee, whatever it is, that love just radiates out of
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I want to, what is she drinking? You know,
That's it.
what is she eating? It's
That's
like
it. Yeah.
you radiate it, because now you're not seeking it from an external, something external. You're giving it to yourself in each and every moment.
You're allowed to feel it. You're
Yes,
allowed to
yes, yes,
feel it.
yes.
It's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
and it's like walking on a cloud.
It is.
And
And that's the beauty of it. Like we don't like, I don't know why we feel like uncomfortable giving
it's
that to
society.
ourselves,
It's
but
society. It's guilt. We're guilted, from the ego and all of that,
yeah.
and also we're programmed to help others. But
And that's the beauty of it. Once you start filling up your self cup of with self-love, like it's so easy to give to somebody else, because like
yeah,
you're not doing it from a space of lack.
right.
You're so full in the love that you have for yourself that it's
Yep.
so easy to serve others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like whether it's with monetarily or with your gifts, like it's just a byproduct of who you are. And that's the beauty of it. Like often we think that, we want to give, but we're giving from a space of like lack, or
Yeah.
I don't want to use that word, but
No,
like
but it is.
we haven't
It,
filled up our own cup.
it's like you're just, trying to get through life every single day, and that's, oh, somebody else wants something. Oh, somebody. But when you feel that, it's like, oh, here, I'm here to help you. I'm going to help you here. And then
Yeah.
we're out of time. I could keep going.
Yes.
Uh, this is the stuff you coach people on, help them
Yes.
figure it out. Sue, how do we find you?
Yeah, and my website is www.suecarabello.com, or you can find me on Instagram at @SusanCarabello_.
This isn't just about attracting the things you want in life,
Yeah.
i.e., the law of assumption.
Hmm.
It's cool to know that you can.
Yes.
This is everything. This
Yes,
is
it
this
is.
is living your best life ever.
Hmm.
And it's 4 words, love. And that's it.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Always wonderful talking with you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Good to see you.
Yep. We'll talk to you
Thanks.
soon.
All right. Bye.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.